Hi, Tom here. Aquarius. Last week asked you to slow down, to step out of the noise, to notice what you're feeling instead of thinking your way around it. This week is different. This week isn't about observing anymore. It's about expressing. From a Vedic perspective, the energy now moves from internal awareness into external articulation. In simple terms, what you've realized internally now wants a voice. And for you, that's significant. Because you're someone who often knows before you speak, and sometimes waits too long to let others in on knowing that. You may feel subtle pressure building. Not anxiety, not urgency. More like a quiet insistence. A sense that something needs to be said, clarified, or finally put into words. That pressure isn't discomfort. It's alignment asking for movement. Aquarius. You process life through insight. You zoom out. You connect patterns. You understand systems before emotions. And that's a gift. But this week teaches you something incredibly important. Insight that stays internal eventually turns into frustration. Not because it's wrong, but because it wants to move. You may notice moments where you catch yourself holding back, rewording your truth, softening your perspective, waiting for the right time to speak. Pause. The right time isn't about perfect conditions. It's about honesty without performance. So here's the deeper lesson this week. Your clarity doesn't need consensus to be valid. You don't need everyone to agree. You don't need to explain everything. You just need to stand behind what you already understand. And right now, you understand more than you're giving yourself credit for. This week may bring opportunities for conversation. Not dramatic confrontations, but meaningful exchange. Moments where someone asks your opinion. Questions that open doors. Situations that require your perspective. Don't deflect. Your voice matters here. You might also feel the urge to detach again. To stay neutral, observational, above the situation. That instinct has served you before. But this week, detachment isn't protection. It's delay. And delay is no longer aligned. There's also an emotional layer unfolding quietly. As you speak more honestly, you may feel exposed. Not vulnerable in a dramatic way, just seen. You need to let that happen. Being seen doesn't reduce your freedom. If anything, it anchors it. Now, let's talk about aligned action. One intentional move for you this week. Say one thing you've been holding back, calmly and clearly. No over-explaining, no defending, no detachment. Just truth, delivered with presence. That single moment will shift more for you than you expect. As you do this, you may notice something surprising. Relief. Not because you controlled the outcome, but because you honored your integrity. And integrity always restores energy. Aquarius. This week marks a transition. From insight to expression. From observation to participation. From knowing to owning what you know. You don't need to push. You just need to speak. And you need to trust that. Before you go, there's something important you should know. These horoscopes are based on Vedic astrology, also known as sidereal astrology. That means we're using the actual positions of the stars in the sky, not the tropical system used in most Western astrology. Because of that, your sun signs here may be different than what you're used to. And that's okay. In Vedic astrology, we don't start with the sun sign. We start with the moon sign, because the moon represents your mind, emotions, and how life is experienced day to day. First, always watch this for your Vedic moon sign. That's where this horoscope will feel the most accurate and personal. Next, I recommend watching for your rising sign, also called your ascendant or lagna. Your rising sign shows how these energies show up in your physical life, your body, your environment, and the situations unfolding around you. Then, you can also watch for your sun sign, which adds insight into your identity, confidence, and sense of purpose during this time. And if love, relationships, creativity, or money are major themes for you right now, I also recommend checking your Venus sign, called Shukra in Vedic astrology, for an extra layer of clarity. For weeks where things feel intense, faded, or life-shifting, it can also be helpful to look at your lunar nodes, Rahu and Ketu. These show where growth is pulling you forward, and where old patterns are asking to be released. To find your correct placements, make sure you're using a Vedic or sidereal natal chart, not a tropical one. Once you know your moon, rising, sun, and Venus signs, and optionally Rahu and Ketu, you'll get a much deeper and more complete understanding of what's unfolding. If this message resonated with you, please like the video. It truly helps support this channel and allows these messages to reach the people who actually need them. And if you're enjoying these weekly Vedic horoscopes, consider subscribing so you don't miss future messages for your signs. You are not one sign. You are a system of energies, learning how to work together. Take care and be calm.